let me ask you this: How do we how do we live in that place, or how do we come to that level of awareness and yet still be engaged in the world? And when
Great
you
question.
see, and when you see
Great
what's
question.
going on in the world, like the anger, the fear, the negativity, how do we stay separate from that, or are we even supposed to?
Well, that's it's a big, big question. My latest book, which is, as I said, isn't coming out for a while yet, The Mystery Experience, is very much about that, as was How Long Is Now, my last book.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just give you an image. I'll try and do it real fast, but to give you an image of what this awakening looks like to me, because the image which works for me is that this awakening is like lucid dreaming. Now, when you dream at night, you think you're in a world which is really there, you think you know who you are, you think you know what's happening, and all of that is wrong, because really you're dreaming. And then if you dream lucidly, you become conscious that you're dreaming. And that puts you in an interesting state, because you realize that whilst you appear to be this person in the dream world, what you really are is the dreamer. What you really are isn't even in the dream world. The dream world is in you. And you missed that completely because you weren't conscious enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this awakening, which people have talked about for so many centuries, is the same but while we're awake. And it's why I call it lucid living. And what happens is you realize that, like with the hand, when I said earlier, look, we think it's there, but it's not, you realize that nothing's what it seems. You've got caught up in a story. And that as you become more conscious and start to live lucidly, you see that your deeper identity, your deep self, your spirit, if you will, whatever name you want to give it, isn't in life. It's the dreamer of the life. And that what you really are, the world is in you. There's this oceanic awareness, which in a religious language would be called God, or the Atman, or the Brahman, or the Buddha nature, whatever name you want to give it. And the whole of what we are, this moment right now, is arising within it like a dream. And when you see that, you can live lucidly. Now, when you dream lucidly, the dream doesn't stop. It carries on, except now you know that you're dreaming.
Right.
And your relationship with it's different. When I live lucidly, my life just carries on. I'm still Tim with all of the same problems and issues, and in the same world, which is most utterly beautiful and terribly cruel, where things are really wonderful and really terrible, and all of the things that exist.
Mm-hmm.
And yet there's a sense of the gnosis is, look, but what I am is the awareness within which this moment is arising like a dream. I'm in the world and not in the world at the same time.
And actually, that's what Jesus was saying.
Yeah, absolutely he was.
Yeah.
My favorite bit in the Christian tradition is where you get this character of Jesus, this incredibly amazing figure. It comes into a world of Jewish religion, full of all of these rules and regulations, hundreds of them. And he goes, look, guys, there's 2 commandments. And actually the second one is pretty much the same as the first one. And the first one is love God. Well, what's that? Let's be one with the one. Love the oneness of everything. Love the essence. Love the big mind within which everything is arising. Love the mystery of being. And the second one is love others as yourself. And that's the same as the first one, really, because when you know that you're one, they are yourself.
That's right.
You can't help it. They are yourself. And that's it. That's in a nutshell. That is it. That is the essence of the Gnostic or spiritual teachings of every tradition that has ever been.
So then would that mean that evil is an illusion that we've all participated in?
It's just ignorance. It's just not having the gnosis. It's thinking we're just separate. If I think I'm really just Tim, then I will do what's going to serve Tim. And if that means doing something which will harm you, well, so be it. But once I realize that I'm not just Tim, that Tim is like the wave on an ocean and my deeper identity is one with everything, then it's a completely different relationship. And then there's the sense of, then there's the love. There's the big love. And it's not liking. It's not about, like you said, about, well, the person who's doing these terrible things. It's not approving of them. It's not liking what's happening. It's deeper than that. Love isn't about liking or disliking. Love goes much deeper. Love is connecting on a level behind the appearances that goes, whatever you are, I love that you are. I love that you are an expression of life. And my deepest desire, my will for you is that you flourish. And actually, part of that may be trying to stop you doing these bad things.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's this author, one of my favorites, as a matter of fact, aside from you, of course. Khalil Gibran.
Oh,
and
yes.
His book, The Prophet.
Oh, marvelous work,
exactly.
Yeah.
And when you were talking just now, and I was thinking that there's one part of the book where he's talking about, they ask him about crime or justice. They ask him about justice. And one of the things that he says is that, and I think this is in the Bible if I'm not mistaken, that the highest among you is also the lowest, which means that the person who was capable of killing, let's say, 50 people at the mall, that is in me too. The difference is that I don't choose that, or that the most horrific thing that another human being can do can't really be foreign to me, because I also recognize that I'm human too.
Yeah.
But that I'm not making that choice. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel sorry for all of us. We're thrown into this life. Mm-hmm. We haven't a clue what's going on. Mm-hmm. We're parented by two people who don't know what's going on. We're put through a school system surrounded by people who don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. We go to work and work for people that don't know what's going on. No wonder we're all messed up. How could we not be? If you can't have compassion for each other in this incredible mystery. Right. And so for me, it's like, look, we're messed up, and some of us are really messed up. Mm-hmm. God knows we are. And that pains me deeply. Mm-hmm. But surely the only response to that is to find that deep place within where we can connect in love. And that's what spirituality is essentially about. That's why it's so revolutionary. That's why every figure that's come and really articulated this has, really shook things up, because it's going, look, this is the only response that will heal any of this. Mm-hmm. Is a response that comes from love. Because that's real. Yeah, not because it's fluffy, but it's real.
Yeah, I remember reading one time somewhere where the question was asked about the devil, and the response was, the question was, how do you heal the devil? And the response was, by loving him. There's no other way,
That's right. I mean, I love the Tom Waits line where he goes, there's no devil, there's just God when he's drunk. and it's flippant, but there's something deep in there which is going, look, if this is all one thing,
yes,
then we are God in various states of consciousness.
Yes.
And when we're in an unconscious state, we can become devilish. And when we're in a conscious state, we can really express our deep beauty and the love which is in us. And therefore, your thing that you had on your show of, look, we have a responsibility, I think was the word you used.
Yes, a divine right to be happy, but a responsibility to evolve.
It's like, that's it. There's we have the right to discover what we are, and when we do, it is perfect. Mm-hmm. But we're on a journey of evolving towards recognizing that, and our responsibility is, once you go, look, we're all God evolving, then wow, it's like, well, let's make the most of this.
Right.
This is this precious life. Let's really do what we can to really penetrate the mystery, to see what it is, to appreciate each other, to meet the moment with the sort of appreciation and love that it warrants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, Tim, you know what? We've only got a minute left.
Oh,
so
God,
I know
so
it went so fast. So the first thing that I want to say is that you have got to be a guest on the show again, because there's so many things that I would love to talk to you about, and hopefully the audience will want to ask you questions too. I think right now everybody is just like, wow. We don't know what to do, but I want to say thank you again for being a guest and staying up so late to talk to us. And it's truly been a blast, and I really, really appreciate it.
Well, I've really enjoyed myself. I feel more awake now than when I started because of your delightful company.
Well, thank you so much. And if you don't mind, I'd like for you to hold on for me, because I want to come to you after the show. Sure. So again, thank you, Timothy Freke, author, best-selling author of so many books that I love. And I'm going to put you on hold right now, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, you guys, it's been awesome as usual, okay, to be up in here with you, talking to you, and actually to have Timothy Freke on the phone. I'm just blown away by that. He truly is one of my favorite authors, but gosh, it's already over. So you've been listening to Evolve. I'm Tazima. This is WOIC 1230 AM, and I want to end with this. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for another. And please be kind to a stranger. Good evening.